This is an example of a suitable storing site on a harvesting site. This is a stacking area, it's a timber turnaround area, and it's flat and it's dry. It means that it's really easily contained if there is a spill. And the things you want to be thinking about are that it's level, that the containers are all stood up and that there's flat area around them, and that you've got no watercourses in very close proximity. You can see here we've got some pads laid out. They don't necessarily need to be laid out in this fan, but they do want to be right beside the site, ready for if there is a spill or this gets punctured or one gets tipped over, you can respond quickly and mop it up. So there's 4 main points you need to think about when storing fuels. You need to make sure you've got a nice flat surface, a good surface for containing the spill, ideally a hard surface, but you may find that that's not possible on your site, so you could use something like a drip tray within the wood itself. You need to make sure that you are away from a watercourse, as far away as possible, and you need to make sure that you have absorbent material on site at all times to hand so that you can respond quickly. What we have here is a grab tank, something everybody sees on a harvesting site, but it's probably the most risky thing that we have on a harvesting site in terms of pollution. Because of the sheer scale of it, there's a huge amount of fuel stored in it. It's something that we open on a daily basis, in and out. It gets knocked about, it gets banged, it could be punctured at any point. So the location of it and where it's going to be stored during the harvesting operation is crucial. And again, you want to be finding somewhere flat so that it can't be knocked over. It needs to have a clear lock on it to make sure that it can be locked when you're not around, so it can't be vandalised. And it needs to be as far away from a watercourse as possible. But again, it's site specific, so find the most sensible place on your site. You need to make sure you've got plenty of materials about for soaking up any spills and reacting quickly, and make sure that it's in good nick. If it's been worn and damaged, then you maybe need to be thinking about getting a new one. Just taking care when using it, making sure that pipes and hoses are not left with lots of oil residue leaking out of them. Keep them stored in sensible places. So another thing we need to think about is machine maintenance. It's something that's really important and something that helps with the prevention of any kind of pollution. And the things you need to think about with maintenance are, where do you do the maintenance? It's very similar to fuel storage. You need to think about finding a flat site that's got a good surface where you can easily contain any spillages or leaks, and you make sure that you've got plenty of your absorbent material around you while you're doing any maintenance. And another thing to consider is to make sure that the maintenance is regular and kept up, and to help with that you might want to think about using newer machinery, especially on sites that are more sensitive or are more vulnerable. If you're very close to a watercourse and there's no other option, newer machinery is definitely the best way to go because it's less likely to have oil leaks. Things that you need to think about while you're doing the maintenance is, although a machine might work with an oil spill, that's not acceptable from a pollution point of view. So you need to actually go the extra mile and make sure there isn't a leak, even if the machine works okay with a leak.